to explain about the cell cycle. Cell cycle is a series of events. It takes place in a cell. As we know, all the living beings are made up by cell. And cell is also known as the structural and functional unit of life. Cell cycle means divide, grow and redivide. It consists of two phases, dividing and non-dividing. Dividing phase is also known as the interphase, and dividing phase is also known as amphase or mitosis. My name is Renu Bhatnagar. I would like to explain about the cell cycle in detail. This is the first growth phase of G1. In this phase, RNA and proteins are synthesized and the volume of cytoplasm increases. Cytoplasm is the thick solution. It is found in the cell. Cytoplasm mainly composed of water, salts and proteins. Mitochondria in the animal cells and the chloroplast in plant cells divide. In this phase, mitochondria and chloroplast divide. Mitochondria are rod-shaped organelles, and mitochondria are also known as the powerhouse of the cell. About 90% of the chemical energy that cell need to survive. Chloroplasts are the organelles that conduct photosynthesis. As we know, photosynthesis performed by the plants. They produces the own food during the process of the photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight, water and carbon dioxide. S phase. I am going to explain about the synthesis phase or S phase. This is the S phase. Okay, in this phase more DNA is synthesized. The chromosomes are duplicated. In chromosomal duplications, extra copies of a chromosomal region are formed. I am going to explain about the second growth phase or G2. This is a shorter growth phase in which RNA and proteins continue to be synthesized. As we know, RNA and proteins are necessary for cell division. Okay. Now the cell is ready to undergo dividing phase of the cell cycle. After the dividing phase gets completed, the newly formed daughter cell enter into the interphase. Again, in this way, the cell cycle goes on and on. Formation of new DNA. Of the interphase, each DNA molecule replicates. For replication of the DNA, double helix opens and connect, making the two strands free. New strands begin to form and the sequence. For the whole length of the DNA, each single DNA strand is composed of repeating nucleotides. Two strands together make a ladder-like arrangement. Here you can see ladder-like arrangement. Okay, and these are the rungs. Okay.
Now I am going to explain about the formation of sex cells in the plants.
Germinal cells in the ovary. Okay. And anthers in plants undergo the other type of cell division called meiosis to produce sex cells. Okay, these are the anthers which consist pollen grains. Okay, here you can see the yellow color granules. Okay, these are known as the pollen grains. Okay, anther consists the pollen grains. Okay, germ cells are the cells that create reproductive cells called gametes, and the part of a flower at the top of a stamen that produces pollen. Okay, or we can say in the ovary. Okay, in the ovary and anthers in plants, germinal cells undergo the other type of cell division that is called meiosis. Okay, to produce sex cells. Okay.
Now we will discuss about the formation of the gametes in human being.
Germinal cells in the testes. Male, this is the male reproductive part. Okay, and this is the female reproductive part. One pair of the ovaries are found. Okay, so germinal cells in the ovary and testes undergo the other type of cell division called meiosis to produce sex cells. Okay, to produces the sex cells.
Now we will discuss about the formation of new leaves, new buds and new flowers in plants.
In plants, the cells at the growing points. Okay, here you can see the growing points. Okay, the cells at the growing points, meristems, divide very rapidly and produce new leaves. Okay, here you can see new leaves, birds, okay, and flowers.
Can the cell cycle go on endlessly? Let's discuss.
Can the cell cycle go on endlessly? No. There is a regulatory mechanism for cell cycles. At some places it can stop. It can stop permanently, and at some places it can stop for some time. Okay, here you can see nerve cells. Brain and other nerve cells once formed in the embryo do not divide further. Once dead, they are not replaced. Okay, here you can see nerve cells of the neuron. Okay, here you can see the liver cells. Okay, these are found in the liver. Liver cells may divide only once every 1 or the 2 years to replace damaged or destroyed cells. Okay, here you can see skin cells. Surface skin cells are continuously lost and replaced by underlying cells. The powdery material that comes off from your skin on scratching or on hard rubbing while bathing contains some dead cells. Okay, and here you can see uncontrolled non-stop cell cycles may lead to tumors that may or may not be cancerous. Here you can see a tumor is a mass or lump of tissue that may resemble like swelling. Okay, a tumor is a mass or lump of tissue. Here you can see mass or lump of tissue that may resemble swelling. Okay, there are the three main type of the tumors: benign, pre-malignant and malignant. Okay, benign tumors are non-cancerous. Okay, here you can see benign tumor. These are the non-cancerous. Okay, they either cannot spread. Can the cell cycle go endlessly?
No, at some places it stops permanently, at some places it stops temporarily, and others still it is needed.
Dear student, I want to know about the cell cycle. Did you understand about the cell cycle?
Yeah.
Okay. Please tell me about the cell cycle. What do you mean by the cell cycle?
A cell cycle is a series of events that takes place in a cell leading to its formation of DNA and formation of proton cells.
What is the role of the germinal cells in the cell cycle?
Ma'am, these are the reproductive cells which take part in the meiosis division.
Okay. How many phases are found in the interphase?